Hello everybody, it's Dismantlin here with another movie review. Today I'm going to be reviewing So You've Downloaded a Demon, directed and written by Todd Livingston. I'm not really sure when this movie was released. It was either released in 2004 or 2007. My guess is that it was copyrighted for 2004 and then released in 2007. To be honest, I only watched this movie because I thought it was going to be horrible. I mean, just look at its cover art. Yeah, pretty bad. But I did some more research and I found that there was a different cover art originally for it, which was light years classier. With all that said, let's dive into this movie. I actually like this opening credits. They have this sort of old drawing of like demons and rituals and stuff going on, and it gets more ridiculous as the credits continue. It starts off kind of like, oh, these are legit drawings, right? And then the demons are playing poker. I think it's not a bad idea for a low budget film, plus the image of demons pillow fighting makes me giggle. This opening scene here I'm not a huge fan of, and it's very misleading. When I first saw it, I was like, yep, definitely in for a crap fest of a movie.
Leanne, open this door. Honey? Emily, open this door.
If you haven't guessed by now, it's an exorcism movie. Okay, just look at the priest that these parents called to exorcise the demon out of their daughter. He looks more like a character from the film Priest. Most people would not let him into their house or near their children.
You're not aware of the latest technology. Allow me to acquaint you.
Just like that? It's amazing.
Modern digital technology of my own design. It captures and vanquishes the demons back into hell.
What? What? No, what? Don't give me whiplash, movie. Are we in a completely different movie now? What? No, explain. What just happened? No, actually, we're not in a different movie. The priest, named Dr. Malcolm, is being interviewed by the heroine of the film, Miranda, played by Cassidy Riley, who is wearing a lovely gangster prankster top by lip service, by the way. She does a radio show on her college campus. Dr. Malcolm here, who was played by the film's director, was excommunicated from the church for reasons never really explained. He still performs exorcisms, though, using some kind of weird electronic device, and sells books about his life. He looks oddly familiar, though.
The work you're doing is really important, Dr. Malcolm. Why were you kicked out of the church?
I explain it all in my new book.
Which is titled Malcolm Excommunicated. It's a good read.
Really? Really? His book is called Malcolm Excommunicated? You're bringing in Malcolm X jokes into this? Very classy. The film then cuts to two other main characters, Dave, played by Zach Creeder, and Brian, played by Daniel Paul Schaefer. Brian is having Dave run for president on their college campus because Brian's not one for public speaking. Dave is a bit goofy and has a thing for Miranda, and Brian is supposed to be a bit of a brain. Huh. Brian? Brain? It's probably just a coincidence.
I'm not even sure if I want to be president. You can't back out now. The election's only 2 days away. If you're not president, you can't put your platform in place.
Yeah. My platform?
Yeah, upgrading the computer labs, launching a new campus website, getting cable modems into the dorms.
I don't care about that junk, you do. You got all the ideas, why don't you run?
Nobody ever listens to me.
What?
Nobody ever listens. Shut up.
Next, we are introduced to the final main character, the over-the-top bitchy for no reason best friend, but the film calls her Kat, played by Summer Fain.
Hey! I was late for class this morning. Thought you were gonna wake me up.
I did wake you up. I came in and said, Kat, time to get up. You said, I'm awake, so stop shaking me, bitch.
Brian starts off very biased against Miranda and Kat because of their gothy exterior, but Dave is too love-struck over Miranda to care.
Being seen with girls like that is bad for your political career. They're all into the occult and stuff. I've heard some pretty weird stories, like freaky shit. Like she'd have sex with you and cut your body up into a million pieces and then sacrifice your blood to Satan.
You think she'd have sex with me?
Well, we're already a few minutes into the film, and we've already got the nerdish guy falls for the gothic chick stereotype. I'm going to start a counter in the corner. For every gothic stereotype we find in this film, the number will go up. Let's see how many we can find by the end of this movie.
Here's my number. Oh, vote Dave.
Smooth. Dave and Brian talking to the girls have held them up and caused them to be late to their coven, so they're temporarily banished until they can prove themselves. We'll chalk that up as another stereotype. Goth girls are all in covens. Though I'm not sure why they're so broken up about being banished. Look at that coven. It looks really boring. Side note, the actress playing the priestess's name is Emily Witcher. Fake name? I like to think it's not.
I am helping. You know that box on your desk? Your computer?
I looked around on the net while you were in the shower, posted in a couple of news groups, then
I found this really badass eyeshadow I forgot I had. How's it look?
I do you. Yeah, so why don't you? Because you're a slut. I only fuck good girls.
Ooh, a small reference to how all goth girls are lesbians or bisexuals. Count it! The girls find a site that they hope will find means for them to prove themselves to their coven.
Since they both lead to the same place, yes, sell my soul to Satan.
Film? How did you know I love badly edited operating systems?
No, what, freak? That might be for real. I'm not selling my soul.
Why are you so concerned about your soul? You should be more concerned about getting a virus on your computer. The girls call the guys, hoping Brian can hack the website. We then get some banter between Kat and Brian.
I bet this processor couldn't handle the latest JavaScript.
Ooh, impress me with your technobabble. I'm swooning.
Whatever.
You computer geeks are so caught up with your technology.
Well, we computer geeks wouldn't have to be if you goth chicks had ever heard the word upgrade.
We're not goth chicks, okay? We're not some fucking manic depressive cheerleaders. Our look comes from our deep devotion to the spirituality of Mother Earth.
Great.
Everything we wear has meaning. It cleanses us, focuses our energy.
Uh-huh.
I don't expect you to understand. We knew we'd encounter ignorance and misconceptions when we chose to be Wiccans.
You mean witches?
Does that shock you?
No. Isn't witchcraft the whole point of being a goth chick?
I don't even know what to say about all that. Yes, Kat is a Wiccan, not a goth. But what do cheerleaders have to do with goths? And you just complained about misconceptions, but you just gave a misconception when describing a goth chick. And when did goths not being able to update their computers become a well-known stereotype among nerds? Oh, well, never mind. We then have some more character development. I mean, a touching moment between Miranda and Dave, and fighting between Kat and Brian. The sexual tension between these two is ridiculous.
Cauldron liquor?
Did he just call her cauldron liquor?
Cauldron liquor?
Yeah, he did. That's the most creative insult ever. Ah. Nuggets. I was just kidding. After an awkward programming montage, Dave manages to hack into the site where Brian failed to. Dave is then possessed by a demon that was in the website. Well, it's a good thing though, because we were at the 20-minute mark and I was starting to get worried. I mean, this movie is called So You Downloaded a Demon. I was like, when are we going to download it? Brian and Dave leave, and the scene cuts to Dave yelling at a hamster about its soul. It's kind of early, but I can tell I'm going to love Dave's performance as a demon.
It burns with the fire of Lucifer's searing heart!
I knew it. Dave and Brian go campaign canvassing, and then we have a possession vomit montage. Ever so classy. We then get a creepy pointless scene.
Hey guys. Go away, Tanya. Guess what I have? It's a new boyfriend. Now this one's name is Parker, and I think he's pretty cute, but I'm not really sure, so I'm sort of taking a poll around campus just to see what people think.
Now, today's the day for Dave's big campaign speech.
I'm to be leader of this world. And since you are helping me, you will be my #1 slave.
Easy there, Thomas Jefferson.
Whoa. Thomas Jefferson? Do you even realize what that joke's implying? You know what, never mind. I'm not even gonna touch that.
Fellow students, I come here today to ask for your vote for student body president. As your leader, we shall embark upon a great quest together to improve life on campus, get better food in the dining hall, and slay those who oppress us.
Woo!
Under my divine guidance, our army shall drink the blood of our vanquished foes from golden goblets.
Yeah!
We will burn their homes, destroy their crops, slaughter their livestock. Vote for me, or I will devour your souls. Thank you for your consideration.
The demon falls for Miranda, and Dave's new demon persona goes over very well with Miranda.
Merciless Satan, I have never seen such beauty. You look like one of hell's goddesses.
Aww, how sweet.
Are you wearing makeup?
I'm out of here.
I like it. I could do your fingernails.
Yes. Filed to a point, to rend skin from the bone.
Good choice. The two go out for lunch and sit through a horrible ventriloquist act. Wait, is that? It's the puppet from Schizophreniac the Whoremangler. Ah, that's such a weird title. Why would someone name their movie that? Wow. For those of you who do not know, that puppet looks just like the puppet from a film that was written and directed by Ron Atkins. You may be wondering why you should care. Well, that film was reviewed by the deadly and talented Diamanda Hagen. Someday, Hagen. Someday. Alright, back to the movie. Dave makes a deal with the performer in exchange for his soul. Later, Dave passes out after seeing Rand's cross necklace and wakes up in the office of a very questionable campus doctor.
Don't question my diagnosis, punk. I've been doing this for over a year.
Brian, Miranda, and Kat finally piece together that Dave has been possessed by a demon, but that the demon is limited. Brian comes up with a plan to trick the demon into drinking beer because Dave can't handle beer at all.
What's a finger?
P.S. Drunk demon equals awesome.
I could kill them.
No,
Why? It's fun.
not an option.
You should try it. Have you ever killed anyone?
No,
Then you don't know.
no.
You're making a decision based on ignorance. You're being ignorant.
Zach Creeder's performance as a possessed human is quite socially awkward, actually. The demon doesn't seem to understand basic worldly things, and it comes across as him just being this oversized man-child.
I work my tail off. Literally. Look. I mean it, no tail. Ha! I made you look at my butt.
Well, more than Dave was before. It's really a funny take on possession.
Ah! Chimp dust in the eye. This world is filled with many unseen perils. When I rule your planet, these Cool Ranch corn tortillas will be the first to feel my wrath.
Kat and Miranda decide to exorcise the demon out of Dave to get back in their coven, as well as to save Dave.
Wait a minute. Every time they split up in a horror movie, somebody dies.
This isn't a horror movie, stupid.
Self-aware! Before collecting the items they need for the exorcism, Miranda calls Dr. Malcolm to ask questions about angel powder, one of the ingredients they need. But I still can't remember where I've seen him from. While drunk, the demon explains to Brian that he only needs 2 more souls before he can take over the world.
Once I get 1,000,000 souls, I will have divine power. And be like a god myself. And neither him nor him can stop me.
While looking for a shroud that covered a dead person, Kat is captured by another coven. Not the coven of unflattering apparel. This coven is evil and wants to rule over all the other covens in town. They're not necessary to the plot at all. And the lip job on the leader, as well as her overacting, is very, very distracting. But they do tend to give us funny moments like this.
Get out!
What?
It's a drive-by!
The witch problem in this town is out of control.
That's right. Laser witch drive-bys. This movie got all Grand Theft Wiccan on us. Miranda goes to the graveyard to get another ingredient. Goth in a graveyard stereotype? Kind of? I'm gonna count it. Things start to get weird here. Miranda gets a call from her mom, who sounds really upset. She runs to her parents' house only to find Kat tied up.
Who tied you up like this? And what are you doing at my parents' house?
You brought me here. You tied me up.
What?
You said you were gonna kill me.
Oh. I don't understand. I don't know what's going on, but it's fucked up.
You're just trying to trick me again.
Get it? I don't know who did this to you, but it wasn't me.
What do you want from me?
Kat! It's me, it's Miranda. I wouldn't hurt you. I would never hurt you. Do you understand? Where are my parents?
Upstairs. You killed them.
I warned you.
What a twist! Brian awkwardly gets some holy water by facing his fears of public speaking and doing an Irish accent. They get all the materials together, but Kat leaves to get a camera from that awkward scene girl from earlier, which holds everything up, so Brian and Miranda have to do the exorcism alone. So, the pointless scene from earlier with the girl with the camera was only placed in the film so that Kat would leave during the exorcism. Well, there's no possible way she could come back at the wrong time, right? We then have an exorcism montage that kind of makes fun of how long and boring exorcisms actually could be to watch. Kat comes back in the room just in time to get possessed. Shock. And for Miranda to get pissed at her for not being there to help her with the exorcism. The demon still loves Miranda, so we get some lovely fan service of Kat trying to seduce Miranda. But Miranda doesn't seem to notice that anything's off until Kat calls her her queen. So does that mean Kat normally straddles Miranda and tries to take her top off? They must remove the demon from Kat, but Dr. Malcolm comes in just in time to stop them. Where do I know him from? Hold on. Oh my god. He was in Goth. Todd Livingston was one of the muggers in Goth. This last part of the film has really weird pacing, but they somehow managed to get it to work. Dr. Malcolm lets slip that he knows where the demon came from.
How did you know we'd released Anticus off of a website?
You must have told me.
Didn't.
Well, you must have. Telepathy's not one of my talents.
No, but I bet soul collecting is.
So,
the crew go to his apartment, confront him about his plan to collect souls. He goes back to the opening scene of the film and tells the whole story about the little girl and the exorcism.
Wait, don't send me back there. I'll give you anything you want. Money? Love? Revenge? Yes, revenge on the church that betrayed you.
Don't try to confuse me, demon.
The church you love, church that you gave your life to, made you lie, then they cast you out.
Yes, but I would never...
I can get you your revenge.
No.
Wait, there is a way. If you don't send me back to hell, I can make you more powerful than the church. You can have the souls I have collected and you will rule all mankind.
They possess Dr. Malcolm with the demon, and they take him back to the really questionable, shady doctor from before. The doctor thinks he's crazy, lock him up. They head back, Kat and Brian couple up, and Miranda and Dave are finally together. And that's the end of the movie. What can I say about this movie? It's awesome. It's actually probably one of my favorite low budgets from the 2000s. It's surprisingly watchable, very funny, and some of the references are a bit off par, like the Thomas Jefferson jokes, but other ones are really funny.
You hurt my friend in any way? And I'll make sure the Olsen twins down here have done their last made-for-TV movie. Got it?
The humor is a good mixture of cheese, lowbrow, clever. It's a little of everything.
You're gonna really have to pour it on thick if you're gonna beat her.
I could beat her right now with this staff. I could sever her bloated head from her pale, thin shoulders.
The main characters are kind of one-dimensional. There's no change. The only thing that really changes is Bryant's opinion of goth chicks. Even the whole plot with Kat letting Miranda down all the time, Kat was still just as undependable as she was in the beginning of the movie. But the fact that they weren't unchanging meant that we really didn't need as much character development as the film gave us. That's another thing about this film. The pacing is really weird. In the beginning, the movie seems a bit too long. I mean, it's 20 minutes until, the actual demon possession. Then at the end of the film, everything seems rushed. Dr. Malcolm comes in, they chase him, they get him, they possess him, done. They could have taken a lot of less time from the beginning of the film and put it towards the end of the film. I'm going to try something new with my goth perspectives. For my other reviews, I gave a goth perspective on the movie. I'm now going to try to make that a whole segment in this. Well, let me start off to say I approve of Miranda's wardrobe. The lip service top at the beginning, I knew from the start I was going to like this film. Then later on, I'm pretty sure she had a lip service skirt on. I approve. Though I do have to shake my head at all the goth stereotypes that were in this film. It can be forgiven, because it had my favorite goth stereotype, and that is the nerd guy falls for the goth chick stereotype. I adore that one. I mean, it shows up in tons of films and songs, and overall, it's probably one of the most harmless stereotypes. I love Zack Crater's take on being a demon. It was funny. I would have voted for him as class president when I heard that speech. Don't get me started on what Kat said about goths being depressed cheerleaders. Oh my god. Kat was my main issue in this film. She just perpetuated that rude, antisocial, alternative chick behavior that you see in a lot of 90s films. I thought that stereotype was dead. I really did. Oh goth. I mean, why did they need her to be so in your face about it? But thank God for Miranda being the heroine of the film. She is perfect as she is bland. I did appreciate how Miranda and Kat didn't care what their covenant thought at the end of the film. They weren't concerned with it. Was it because they had boyfriends now? And they didn't care to hang around with a group of women dressed in black? I would like to think that's not why. I would like to think that they don't care what those witches think. Wanting acceptance in a specific group is very mainstream culture, and I feel like that's very counterproductive for the characters that they are, as one-dimensional as they could be. So, overall, from a goth perspective, this film isn't the gothiest movie out there. Kat did say that they both were not goth. I'm just gonna say that Miranda's goth and Wiccan, and Kat is not. She is just Wiccan. Miranda was well-dressed, well-played. She was supposed to be the main character, so they made her a bit bland and not relatable and kind of too perfect. I guess that will show how a lot of the stereotypes that Brian was perpetuating on her were incorrect, as a foil to Kat, which is kind of what people would assume a goth chick would be like. The film has its flaws, but overall, I really enjoyed it. It's funny, it's pretty good for a current low-budget movie, and it's the best movie I've reviewed so far. I know that's not saying much, but I fully recommend it. On IMDb, it's actually got a pretty high rating, and it's well-deserved. It introduced me to the actor Zack Crater, which only did one other work that's on IMDb. It's a short film called Stasis, and I fully recommend you watch it. I really wish he did more acting. Well, this is Dismantle In, and this movie has been dismantled.